your community, this is your city, and this council has led with transparency, and so we want to continue to do that. So we certainly thank you all for being here today. All right. Keep me on time. This time? Okay. Well, good evening to everyone. As I was just speaking, I am certainly grateful that everyone's here. And these are all our department heads, so I'm going to look more this way over here. But we certainly appreciate you all being here. This is a big deal for us. We're grateful to be able to have it in this building. We are proud to show it off. That's why we're having it in here. And I do want to say that we've been stewards of your money, and hopefully you will see that. We won't delve in depth with the numbers. What we wanted to do this year is basically show the growth that we've had year over year. In fact, even in all the years. We do have a lot to be thankful for, and we are so grateful that you are here. Like I said, this building cost us $5.1 million and is paid for. So we are really grateful for that. Again, we are being stewards of your money. So with that said, we have started the program. I certainly like to welcome everyone here. At this time, I'd like to call on Pastor Williams to lead us with the invocation. If we can stand and remain standing, and after that, we will have Blake Giles to lead us with the pledge, who is a student here at Glenwood High School that's always been involved in coming down and seeing how the function of the city and government works, which we have a bright future with him and the other young people. So with that, I'd like to call on Pastor Williams. Yeah, you come up here to the...
Thank you, Mayor, for allowing us to do this, and happy birthday to you. Amen. Let us pray. Father, we come this evening just giving you glory, honor, and praise, God, as we've gathered here in this place, this beautiful place, for the state of our city addressed. God, we thank you now for these servant leaders, God. We thank you now for their leadership. We pray, God, that you continue to equip them with wisdom and knowledge, and let them temper it with love. Lord, we thank you for tonight for everyone who has a part in this, the employees of our city, Lord, those who give of themselves and their talent and their treasures. Those who pursue a spirit of excellence, God, we thank you for them on tonight. We pray that your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Father, I pray the continued prosperity and unity in our city. I pray, God, that no evil will come nigh our dwelling. And God, in all things, you will get the glory, the honor, and the praise. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Oh, hold on. You got to do it. This your grandma?
This is my grandma.
She wants to take a picture of you.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness.
It's your birthday.
Listen, let me tell you this. I took a picture with him when he was about, what, 5 or 6?
I think 6 or 7.
6 or 7 years old, and I still have it. So we go way back. So,
Happy birthday.
thank you. Again, thank you, Pastor. Thank you, Jeff Blake. And we've heard in the prayer, it's all about unity, and that's one thing that this city has always tried to do. But again, I am so thankful that you all are here. As I stated, we're not going to necessarily drill down into the numbers on the slide, but I will give some numbers to show how well we're doing as a city. But even more importantly than that, I think you all will be able to see it once we show you all some of the things that has been completed and some of the things that we have on the horizon for the movement of this city. You know, this past August, I think it's August the 9th, and Council, you all correct me if I'm wrong, this city turned 100 years old, and we celebrated it rightfully so. But what's really important now is that we had good people who got us to that point, it's now to the point where we as a council has to continue to set the foundation, a strong foundation for the next 100 years. I do not think any of us will be here, but the key to leadership is making things better for the people that are coming after you. And I can honestly say that that's what drives this council the right way. You know, I was reading and saying some things. It says that we should always know that we, as the people of any community, but this particular community, is to grow in righteousness, because that is what exalts a city. And we would not be able to be here at this point to be able to do this in people in the past, because we want to continue to grow as a city of righteousness. So we are very, very grateful that each and every one of you all are here. We do want to leave some time for you all to ask questions. If there's any question that you all would like to ask myself or the council, you can direct your questions to them. And if we do not know the answer of what you're asking, we have a group of good people over here, and we have some up here that we can get you the answer. Okay? We certainly want to give you all an opportunity to do that. So again, thank you all, and we are going to get into the presentation, but I do want to encourage you all. It means a lot to us that you all ask questions. Okay? Anything, nothing is off limits. Now, I'm not too mechanically inclined, so you all bear with me. This is this year's State of the City, as you all see. It would help if I turn it on. I did admit that. It gives me great pleasure to be able to introduce our council members. As you see up there, and I would ask that you all raise your hands once I call them out according to the picture. Dr. Griff Gordy, who's the Mayor Pro Tem, Steve Bailey, who's District 1, Vicky Carter, who's in District 2, and Arthur Day, District 3. I would normally ask them to stand up, but since they elevated up, I'm not going to do that. I think you all can see them. Also, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our city manager, Mr. Wallace Hunter, who has been here about 13 years, and I will show some things in the slide on some of the things we've done and the things that was introduced under his guidance, and how the city has really come through fruition with that. Next, our new city clerk, who's been with us 10 years, who has done a great job. She was trained well by the clerk that retired, is our clerk, Ms. Shannon Davis. Thank you. Here, let me tell you, I told you all they were all on that side. But this is an honor for the council and me to be able to give the accolades and pay homage to these department heads who sometimes people don't realize what they have to go through with the public. But they do it correctly, they do it wholeheartedly, and we always say collectively that we have to lead with bravery as well as being fearless as far as doing right, because there are times when we get pushed. But I am proud to say that we have a group of department heads along with this council that we do it right, and we've been consistent with it, and I think you all will begin to see that as I go through this slide. So I'm going to ask you all to stand since you all are a little lower. Our building department, Ray Rogers. You stand, remain standing now, okay? Our economic development, Sean Culligan. Our engineer and public works, Angel Moore. Our finance director, LaBrita King. I saw you. Did she come in? Oh, okay. She tricked me. She normally sits on that side. We have our fire chief director, Chief Chris Kennedy. Our human resource director, Stephanie Chastain. Our information technology person is Mike Bowers. And Mike, oh yeah, he's in the right place. He's not allowed to go over there. And then we have our library director, Tammy Henry. Okay. Along with our municipal court, Ruby White, our Parks and Recreation Director, Todd Hughes, and our new city manager, which we are blessed to have, and our city manager did an outstanding job proposing it to this council, and we're glad to have him, Chan Gamble. Our Public Safety Director, as you all know, we split that up because of the growth that we've had in the development of our city, as far as making sure that we're putting things in line to be able to hopefully meet all those things we need to do when it comes to people not doing correctly. It's Public Safety Director Ray Smith, our new Police Director, Department Head George Staudinger. Our golf person, director, is Mike here? Mike, oh yeah, Mike Barber. And our legal team, I will say Jim McCoon is not here. He called and said he would not be here. But we have the Honorable Judge Greg Waldrop, Honorable Judge Pat Lofton, and our City Attorney Jimmy Graham. And like I stated, Jim McCoon is not here, but I would like for you all to give these people an applause because they really work hard. That's why I wanted you all to stand up. Mike Patella, stand also. You didn't do anything. But he works with the building department in Angel, so he's a very important part too. Thank you so much, Mike. Proceeding on, I really want us to get this. Can everyone hear me? Okay, I'm saying right here. Since 2008 up until this year, and you all will see, this was put in place 2008, and over those years, we have been awarded $60 million in grants over those years, over 15 years. And these are some of the grants, as you see. I'm not going to insult you by reading it, but I do want to say this. We apply for grants from anywhere from $500 to $9 million, which we have received. And then I think, and Angel, correct me if I'm wrong, this grant right here of the MPO project, we did receive a $9 million. So you'll see some, we go out and get grants from $500 up. And the amount of money that we have been able to save the taxpayers is about $5 million, because I think, and some of you all may know this, and I may be off, that I think that when you have a grant writer, you have to pay them, I think, at least 10%. So we've been able to save about $5 million going in the house. And these are some of them right here that we're showing you. So from 2008 to 2011, we received $18.5 million in grants in those years. From 2012 to 2014, as you see down at the bottom in the yellow, right at the bottom, from 2012 to 2014, we were able to receive $8.3 million in grants. Again, all this is not in-house. So it's saving of taxpayers' money, which is the number one thing that we are responsible for doing. And like I said, we won't show all the numbers that we've done in the past, but I will let you all know some of the positions that we're in, financially strong. And this building right here is evident. As I stated, we paid $5.1 million for this building. It's paid for. Right here, from 2015 to 2021, we received $10,177,000 in grants. Now, and I will say at the last slide of this, when you all see the total amount of $60 million, but in order to get these grants, we have to have money. Because I will show you at the very bottom line how much we've done in 2023, how much the city has put in, that we have to have the money to be able to get these grants, match it. Because if you do not have the money, you won't be able to get the grants. And as our councilman always say, Mr. Day, we have to be shovel ready, and we always are because we're being financial stewards of your money. So again, 2015 to 2021, we collected 10.1 million in grants. Right here in 2022, we did 11.6 million, and I'll show you on the last slide, which is here. We also in 2023 did 11.3 million in grant under the total funds. But down at the very bottom, and I don't think this thing is, but right at the very bottom, grand total, as you will see, we did $60.1 million in grants. Now, the city funds, in order to get the grants of all the totals, we had to match those grants, and we put in, you all, the city, your money, we had to match it with $12.2 million. That's 26% of the non-city funds. So in order for us to be able to get $60 million and not having to pay a grant writer and being able to do it in-house, we've been able to save the taxpayers about $5 million. And council, if anything you all want to inject, please, feel free to do so. Okay? And again, at the end, I will ask for you all to ask questions, but this is a game changer, because I do think that anytime you do a grant writer, you have to pay them about 10%. That would equate to close to $5 million that we've been able to save doing it in-house. Okay? Staffing personnel, I really want everybody to hear me on this. This council, myself, city manager, assistant city manager, we get a lot of calls from people wanting to report to have this done. And the story has been the same from each one of us. And we all know what COVID did. We're not making excuses, we're not making any alibis, but it's changed the dynamic in this country, probably even in this world. But I'm going to speak of Phenix City. We lost a lot of workforce, and we're still dealing with that as I speak right now. And I want you all to see out right here, our functional areas. We have budgeted for 2024, 565 employees. That's how much we budgeted for. This is an average. The average employee count that we have over here is 399. That's about 30% or either 1/3 of our workforce. So I'm saying all this to say this, particularly with our engineer and public works and our utilities. As you see, we have budgeted for our engineer and public work 95 employees. We have 63. I don't want to say only 63, but we have 63, and we're grateful for that. That's about a 33% decrease. Now, with our utilities, as you see, we have budgeted 82. On average, we have an account of 56. So the total reduction of our workforce is about 1/3, 30%, because again, we have budgeted, we have the money for 565, but we only have, on average, 399, 1/3 of our workforce. Again, I say this because I really want us to get this. When you call any of us, it is reported it would report it to the correct person of that department head. So when we tell you that we are short and they're going to get to it as fast as they can, that is the gospel truth. But we do have to prioritize from what's more important to what's least important. And so we've been sharing this, and each time we get a call, we share that. And that's the gospel truth. So I'm here saying we need employees. Great benefits, great pay. The retirement system in the state of Alabama, and I know I see people here who works for it, is probably one of the best in the union. I would say it's in the top 6 because you get a pension. Your retirement is not tied to the stock market like a lot of businesses. But it's a great place and we need employees. But I will tell you this, we are reaching out. But the problem we have is the people that come in, most of them, they can't pass the drug test. So we can ill afford to hire them because it's a liability and it's your tax money. But I'm telling you, the number one thing, and counsel, you all help me out, is that they can't pass the drug test. And we will not take that chance to put this city, your money, in a liability position. But I really wanted us to see this. Recreation and amenities, you see we have budgeted for 139, we only have 86. That's about a 38% decrease on the average from what we have. But still able to do a good job. Public safety, we know how important that is. We have budgeted 206, we have 163. That's a 21% decrease. So we need workforce, employees. So if you know anybody who's young, I mean, if you start off young, and college not for everyone. But if you start and you put your 25 years in, you'll have a percentage of your salary for the rest of your life. Great benefits. Not to mention the health benefits. All of that. So we need employees. So we need you all to go out and rally for us because we need people. 2009 to 2023, you see the total cost, how many miles we've done. That's 14 years, we've spent an average of $1.1 million in road infrastructure. For a city our size, that's not bad. That's the entire city. And you all are seeing some of the other things that we've done to show you how expensive it is nowadays to do things. And that's one of the threats that we have to worry about because of the escalating cost of equipment, of doing roads, of the whole 9 yards. It's challenging, and that's one of the threats, not only to our city, but throughout municipalities in the country, because when COVID came and left, I mean, things doubled and tripled. And we have to make decisions based on those costs. And we have to make sure that we identify, counsel, you all help me with this, by prioritizing what is needed and what's not needed. Here you see where some of the completed engineering and public works. Last year citywide resurfacing cost us $925,000, and you'll see the other slide to show the breakdown of where those streets were. Again, I'm not going to insult you by reading all those out. I hope everyone can see them. All you all who are backwards up there, y'all can move in the front. But I hope you all see that. And then you'll see in some other slides where it's broken down, each of these. But citywide was $925,851. Here's the ongoing and upcoming engineering. As you see, the $925,000, These are the area where we spent $449,742, and then the other areas where we spent $476,109. That total of that $925,851 that we showed you earlier. But these are the areas. And let me say this. We do not just pick something out the air and say we're going to go pay. That's not how it's done. And Angel, help me if I'm wrong. There's a schedule of when we're going to pave roads. However, it can change based on the traffic flow of a road. Again, we have to prioritize it. But we don't just pick something out of the air and say we're going to go over there. There's a strategic plan, hopefully, that we can follow to get done. Sometimes we have to prioritize to see the flow of that road, or how the impact is, and we may have to do it. But let me tell you, the cost now, and you'll see here, right here, where you see just to do 2 miles, slightly over 2 miles, cost us $925,000 for roads. You see the breakdown. Look at the lengths. This is the only one we had that was a half a mile long. So we don't just pick something out of the air. City infrastructure project ongoing. It takes a lot of money to run the city, but we are proud, as you see, number one, the City Road project, the bridge project, that's costing us $2.3 million. And they're doing a great job on it. There's some other things, as you see right here, you saw on the other string side, 43rd Street resurfacing, Knowles Road, and 4th Place resurfacing, that's $476,000. And we do have plans to do the 14th Street landscape. That's $1.1 million. And that's in the preliminary engineering. But the other one is the ongoing and also under construction, and we're in the planning phase, which costs us money to do that. As you can see, one of the planning phase for 4th Avenue resurfacing project, that's $806,000. It takes a lot of money to run a city. And I'm proud to say that, you know, we're in real good, not bad financial, the situation we're in, very strong. These are some of the areas that has, remember we saw that, of course, Knowles Road and 43rd Street and 4th Place resurfacing. That's the cost. We just wanted to show you all some pictures of that. But again, we are proactively being proactive for this community. Another, as we just talked about, $2.3 million, the bridge down on Seal Road, South Seal Road, which is needed because, you know, the old one, you couldn't walk across it safely as cars went back and forth. But that's $2.3 million that we talked about earlier in the slide. We got a lot of calls behind this, the council did, and it needed to be done. But again, there's a strategic plan when we have to do it. So just to do the resurfacing of that nature trail costs us $111,000. Takes a lot. Riverwalk repair, which we know, this is going up north, as you see how much that costs. Whenever it rains and it floods, the damage that it does if we get that high, so that's a constant battle that we have to make sure we stay in a financial situation. $128,000. Utilities project, very, very important. As you see, these are some of the things that we've completed, the first two. And what I've learned and what we've learned, you have to get this right. You cannot mess up on any of this because of aging. Because the water that we have to put back in the Chattahoochee has to be cleaner than when we got it. And you'll see some of that. Am I right, John? Yeah. But these are some of the upgrades on the utilities project. And we've done the Bailey Hill pump station, the water storage tank, Saddlebrook gravity drain. It's just a lot of things that we've been able to do. And you see some has been completed, some is in progress, and Some is in the designing phase and some is in the planning stage. But you have to still spend money. As you see on the Somerville Road extension, 8,900 feet, it's $1 million. Clarifiers upgrader, and you know, I don't know much about that, but I know it comes to us and it's something that is mission critical that we have to comply with ADM. That's the cost of what I just spoke about, Saddlebrook Sanitary Sewer, which is, you know, mission critical that we have to keep up to date. Right here is the storage tanks, and like I said, I'm talking very dangerous now. I don't know how it works, but I know how it is in the meetings that we have to have. That's $318,000. This is all on the utilities. Wastewater treatment, and I think this is probably, from my understanding, is one of the most mission critical operation areas. You see the cost of $12.4 million. When I stated that the water that we receive has to go back into the river cleaner than what we got when we received it. So $12 million, and let me tell you, this can ebb and flow. As far as one of the threats we have with this, as I stated earlier, particularly with the utility, is escalating costs. $12.4 million. Some of the things, public development, the park up in what we call Poplar Springs, Poplar Park. We spent $203,000 on that for the people in that community. And this is the picture of the improvements of it. It was just a field, but we put $203,000 into that. The Lakewood course, and we know I'm not a golfer. Jeff, I could probably get him to speak on this. He's a golfer, but how it was and how it is now, we spent $49,000 doing that, correcting that of that Lakewood golf course. Other public development. This right here, again, is in preliminary engineering. The total grant funding, we were awarded $1.6 million. The total cost is $2 million. Well, that means it's going to cost us $453,000, I think $745 to make that up. So in order to be able to have all these amenities and things, we have to make sure we have the funding so we can put in to make sure we get those grants. Because if you don't match it and you don't have the money to do it, you won't get it. As Mr. Day always say, shovel ready. And that's a good thing. But that the city will have to put in $453,000 as we see what the total cost would be. This building, as you see, we're proud of it. That's why we wanted to have it here. It elates me to say that the $5.1 million that we put in there and is paid for, and we would like for you all, if you want to, after the meeting, if you want to take a tour. But we have the municipal court up here, and as you see this building, which is one of the state of the arts, and some of the other areas back there, we use your money wisely to build this. And the great thing about it, we have no debt on it. And since I mentioned that, we reduced our debts by $5 million this year. We've been on the downslide of that. I think what we have, that really ours is $50 million now, whereas it was $50 million. But when we first got in, it was up to as high as $6 to $8 million. So you see as we pay it down. Even the self-supporting debt, which is the school system and the utilities, is down also. Very proud of this building. As you see, as you look around, we think it's one of the state of the arts, and we are very, very proud of this. And we opened this, was it August or July? I can't remember, but we just opened it last year, around the summertime. I can't remember the exact date, but that's why we wanted to have it, because we want you all to be as proud as we are. Public development. This is the Fire Training Center, which is right behind Fire Station 1 off of Crawford Road down here, 14th Street. As you see, the cost is $3.8 million, but it's going to probably be higher than that because there's still some things to do. But I do want to say this. I really want to emphasize this. This building and that building, which is paid for cash, so that's almost $10 million that we've had to be able to complete this project and that project. This will have classroom, it'll have a burn building in it, it'll have bays in it, and the great thing about it, it will have some economic impact for the city because other firemen in training can come here, and they have to stay so many days. So it does and will have some economic impact for the city. But this is also, we are very proud to have paid for this cash. So amongst the two, it's about $10 million almost that we have that's paid for, that represent a strong financial situation we're in.
Now, before we move on, when we please elaborate to let them know that this building, once it's completed, we have to pay for insurance.
Yeah, because we do have that, and I said another point, thank you, Mr. Day. It will help our ISO as far as the insurance rating, but really, what's going to happen as we grow, we are a city that's too big to be small. I mean, that's the best way I know how to say it, which is about 40,000, which is about the 11th largest city in the state of Alabama. We are actually too big to be small. On the horizon, we know we're going to have to build another fire station out west somewhere. That would also help bring the insurance down. Okay? But this will help us as far as insurance too. As far as homeowners insurance. And you all know those rated 9, 3, and all of that, so this will help. But again, we also have been discussing, but you know, you gotta watch the money, you have to be stewards of the money. At some point, the city's gonna have to build another fire station. And we wanna keep growing, population-wise, and we wanna keep growing as far as commercial business, which we'll get to, because of the tax revenue we get. And since I mentioned tax revenue, we're up 8% year over year in our sales tax revenue, which is strong. From 34.9 million to 37.6 million, which is 8%, that we have grown our sales tax revenue year over year by 8%. And that's not in the slide, but again, you know, anytime you can have that kind of growth, you're not doing bad as far as just sales tax, because it's the lifeblood of the city, our sales tax. Here, which we're very proud of it, our 80, which is in Phenix City. This is in Phenix City. As you see, you know we have the Sonics out there. We have a Popeyes, the car wash out, Taco Bell, Dollar Tree. This is our 80, which is in Phenix City. This is all the development that we've had taking place out there. And as I speak, we're in negotiation of other businesses coming to this area, as well as on 431, and I'll get to that later on. But this is the retail development that adds and has helped us be 8% year over year in our sales tax revenue. 431. Back when we did the Renfros, the plan was to do it so we can attract other business, and as you see, it has worked wonderfully. Because as you see, we have the Circle K that's about to be completed. The roadway, as you know, they're particularly doing construction on that. We have the Jacks that's open, and we have the Wendy's that open, and we do have an announcement of a restaurant or a quick service restaurant that we will be announcing sooner than later. So we will be announcing that, and then there's other opportunities down there that's on the horizon. Help us with our sales tax revenue. Right here, out on 280, as we all know, going toward Walmart, out on the left, you all see all the dirt that is being moved if you've gone out there. As you see, right here, we'll have the Valvoline right there on the far right end. You know, we get beat up sometime about having restaurants, and we are grateful to have this one. And we want more restaurants. But again, The city can't invest in restaurants because we're not going to risk your money. We have to have people, as you all know, who wants to come into the community to invest their money in restaurants where they can get a return and we can also get the tax revenue. I mean, the lifeblood of the city is the tax revenue. So we do have the Outback that's will be coming. Chipotle, as you see, will be coming. Starbucks will be coming, and right here you have the Jersey Mike, AT&T, and a what you call it at the Emory, what you call those places that go very quick? Doctor urgent care. Yeah, so we'll have that too. So again, this proves the growth, and as you go out, you will see all the construction that they're doing out there. They've done a great job because you know they had to really lift that. And I don't know exactly when they would start the construction, but as you know, they had to do a lot of work out there, which proves people wants to be in Phenix City. When you look at the growth, people wants to be in Phenix City. Regardless of what may be said, people wants to be in Phenix City. And this is indicative of all these slides that I've shown you with all the retail that we have going on. It's indicative that they do. But this is going to be awesome, and it's going to give us more other chances to help develop, even down on 431 as we continue to build it up. Here are some of the ones that are open. Harbor Freight just came in, open. Out, you all know what 280 and the main center is. The pet sense that we'll have there. Ribbon cutting. It's on the Saturday, is it next Saturday? Okay. So we'll have a ribbon cutting for that. New businesses. Same thing with the American Thrift Store and Wingstop, which is really doing outstanding. As you all know, that's on the Phoenix corner out there where old Kmart used to be. And that's the only way I know how to describe it. I probably should use a better phrase. I'm a landmark guy, okay? If I want to know where something is, a street, I just go to the city manager. It's amazing. He knows every street in Phoenix City. Chicken salad, will be coming. That's out on 280. That's almost across, a little bit up further north, across from where all the development is going. So we will be getting that also. Right here, Sierra Pacific. This is really a huge, huge deal for Phoenix City. This company out of California is the biggest landholder in the United States. They have a phenomenal culture and great people. They have invested, will be invested, and they have already started $60 million in this community. Starting off with 300 jobs and potentially up to 500. But again, it proves that people want to be here. This is this old Southern Phoenix textile mills. And as you can see how they've cleaned it up, but they are investing $60 million in this community. And the average paying job, correct me if I'm wrong, is around almost $28 an hour. 27 and some change, rounded up, I'm also a banker, $28. But for them to want to come and invest in Phoenix City, and they do windows, and that's what that is. But this is a game changer. It proves and solidifies that people want to be in Phoenix City. Now, we have to work and do those things, but it's all about business. The city is a business. You have to run the city like a business. We are in business to make money for the taxpayers. I always say, it is a business. And it's even more strenuous upon this council and the city manager and his department head that we run it like a business because it's your money. But they are the biggest landholder in the United States that decided to come here. But it is a window company that has a great culture and believes in Phoenix City. Otherwise, they would not have come here. $60 million. Just think about that. $60 million they invested right here. reforming the old Southern Phenix mill. But this is really a game changer for us. And even when you do things like this, as we develop or been able to get all the other businesses, it's going to help us eventually with our rating. Because one of the metrics they look at is the average household income, or what they call the EBI sometimes. But this will help us when we hopefully try to go back and get an increase in our rating. We're still a AA minus, which is strong, but you know, one of the metrics is they look at the salary, the average salary of a household. And so when you're paying this much money and you're getting all those other businesses, I know it has changed. It's probably higher than that now, around 60, at least 60. So that should help us with our credit rating. Here, tourism, we all know that last year we had the World Cup, and this year, 2022, we had the World Cup. 2023, we had the Freestyle Kayaking World Championship, which had over 211 athletes, 18 countries. It was an economic development that helped our city. As we know what that river did and what the whitewater rafting did, where these people come and compete, but they came from 18 different countries that had an economic impact on this region, Phenix City and Columbus. KPS Group, as you see, they're working on a comprehensive plan. This again, we want to show you all that we're thinking long term for this community. This comprehensive plan, it's important that our ordinance is correctly done. You have to look at our subdivision regulation. You don't just pick something out of the air, but it's important that that is done right for the safety of the citizen and the design for downtown, which you all will see some things that we're planning on doing going forward. But they've been here since 2022, and also the other group. Planning downtown riverfront vision. Again, you have to put something in vision to be able to hopefully help it come to fruition. Now, whether we are here or not, we have the responsibility to look forward for the future. And that's what we're doing. This is part of the area over here, and then you'll see also where we have the lively district that is right across from here. But I think this runs from Troy, all over
Train trestles.
from the north. Yeah, all the way down to the Dillon Bridge. These are plans. Now you have to have it, the vision to put in place, whether we see it to fruition or not. But it's there, and we want people in this community to know that we're not just sitting down twirling our fingers, but we are really planning long term for the citizen of Phenix City to help, hopefully have a better quality of life. That's our #1 job. But that is, as they stated, further up north past Troy, all the way down to the amphitheater is the design and things that we've been talking about. River North, as we know, River South down here, the Old Town, which is kind of right in here, I think, Sean, correct me if I'm wrong. But we want to also create the lively district, which is this, which is right across from here. That area there, right, Sean?
That's correct.
That area right there, we bought some property over there, the city that we own, paid $800,000. It's on the river. People are, really wants to be on the river. We have to think long-term foresight that if we can get something started like we did on 431 South in the Renfros, typically it causes others to be there. But we call it the Lively District, which is an entertainment district from Troy to Dillingham. In fact, we have 2. The other ones are down on the Brickyard project, but someone else owned that there have been some discussion as far as developing that 90 acres. But this is right across from here, and these are some of the things that we hopefully would do. Again, it's a proposed vision. But we have bought some property over there, the city. Because, we have to make sure that we can ignite other people who wants to come and be in that area. But those are the plans. Future development, you know, we own the property down here with the Lowe's company on. We paid $900,000 for that back in 2019. December of 2019. It's about 22 plus minus acres. It's a beautiful site. It's not far from where the Golden Park is, as you all know and have heard. They're bringing the Braves there, one of the farm clubs that hopefully will help stir this. Now let me say this, and you all know this. Anytime you have property, you can always leverage it. Now we've talked about doing some other things, but we have to make decisions based on what we can get the quickest return on at that time. There are some things we have to put on the back burners because of the industry and because of the environment. But we own like 22 plus minus acre, great view over Brickyard Road right into Columbus. And let me say this, we have talked about doing some things, but to be smart, you sometimes have to leverage it to get somewhere else to really be more conducive of what your long-term plans is and what the location is. But that's, we own it outright, paid cash for it. We spent $900,000. It appraised, at the time it appraised for $1.5 million, but we bought it for $900,000. So again, being stewards of your monies. Again, we talked about this, the Riverwalk North. Plans are to do those things, the Dragonfly Trail and other things up there, and engineers have been working on that, but it all pertaining to us getting funding. Takes a lot of money to run the city. Same thing with Riverwalk South that we showed you all in the other plans as far as what the plans are for, doing that, biking trails and, you know, making sure the roads and all of those things are done decently. Here's commercial development. This is the entire Phenix City. I know that's a busy stream that you see, but these, as you will see in the next slide, some of the places, businesses that we're going at. But these are places where we're recruiting, trying to get to come here. I know it's busy, but that's the entire city. Because again, we live off of sales tax. I know it's busy, but you can look at some of the things, and again, right here, this part is out on 280 where you see the Outback and all those things, and 431 South down here where all those things are coming. But we, you know, we're focusing on properties that can help us grow our tax base. These are some of the things we're looking at, future commercial targets. As you see, again, you gotta perceive it and see it in your mind and head and vision to hopefully be able to make it come to fruition. Parks and Rec, these are some of the things that are upcoming. Now, I noticed that they didn't have the Easter egg hunt on there, which we started this, how long ago? Easter egg hunt?
It's on there.
It's on there, so we're doing
It's
it
on the
tonight.
night.
Flashlight.
Where?
Fourth one at the top.
Griff, I might need them glasses.
Flashlight at
Fourth one at the top, you said.
the top.
I still don't see it.
Right. Says flashlight Easter egg hunt.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's what threw me off. It's done today. You don't need a flashlight today. But they provide a lot of things for our kids and the people in our community. They do a great job, and you all saw what the number of employees we have. But they work it and do a great job, and you know, trying to create a quality of life for the citizens and our kids in the community. Parks and Recs again, as you all know, we have plans to build a miracle park for disabled kids to be able to participate and play baseball, softball, whatever you want to call. And there's not one in this area. There is one in Opelika, but it was built by a philanthropic person. The city is doing this. As you see the picture there, we did receive $500,000. Patricia Blackshear helped us get that from the state. But we also want people to have a private-public partnership to do this with us. that would be a game changer also, because there's nowhere else in our area outside of Opelika, which is 35 minutes away, that will have this. We have the land, the location. It's going to cost, when they first started talking about it, it may have been less than $1 million or a million. Now it's over $2 million. So that lets you know how things has escalated. But this will also be a big game changer for us because of the clientele that we can reach out to show that we believe in inclusion. It's a miracle park. But we did receive Chris Blackshear, one of the state representatives, to help us get $500,000, and we're still asking, public-private. So hopefully we can get that. Would really be huge. Parks and Recreation, you all golf, all the updated things that we did with the golf courses and the golf carts, very high tech, and it's really doing good at the golf course is. Here our library, as you see, we service 58,000 people, and you will also see a screen on where those people come from. And I don't know, I know there has to be a benchmark out there, maybe Ms. Henry can tell me, but you have 58,000 service population that we serve. You have 53,000 that has a car. That's about a 91%. All right, I don't know what the benchmark is, but I know that has to be extremely high compared to probably other libraries. But the number of visitors that we have to our library is 51,000. So that's 88% of the visitors that we have that services population. 80% of the people that does that. That's strong. And then you see the number of programs and classes we have, the computers that we have, and the circulation that we have. It is well used. That library is used extremely well. And I'm going to go over some, you can see here where some of the people come from. Lee County is a total of 11,493 from Auburn, Casita, Locopocha, Opelika, all the way from Seal, Pittsview, Holy Trinity, Hatchetubby. So we service a lot of people. But here, right here in Phenix City in Russell County, we have 43,989 car holders. In Russell County, 5,441. But this is not including some of the Lee counties now. This number that I just read out. So it is well used. It is productive for our citizens. It's an amenity for our citizens. But as you saw on the last screen, how many car holders we have and compared to the service population. And I just shared with you, and you see here where the people come from to come to our library, even from Columbus. But the number that I just read you did not include Lee County. So it's more than that. Again, some of the other things that you see, Goodwill Industry, the GED program they do, the extension, and Russell County Extension, Springer House, as you see, they use that library. And it's open because, again, it's an amenities for the people of our community. So that's all that we have as far as this, but I do and want to open it up for a question, but I will say this. From a financial standpoint, we're still able to service our debt 640 to 1. We can service our debt, which means, as I always say, for every dollar we spend, we can have $6.40. Very strong, even when we stretch it to 6%, although prime interest rate is 8.75, but we kept it at 6 due to the municipality usually get a cheaper rate than what prime is. And we can still service that at 474 to 1, which means that our annual debt service will increase, but we still service it by 4.474, which is for every dollar we spend, we have $4 left over, which is very strong. Our, as I stated earlier, our sales tax revenue is up over 8% year over year, which is very strong. That went from $34.7 million to $36.9 million, which represents that 8%. Our tax assessed valuation, this is, to me, is very impressive. That's the values of businesses, homes, and all that in the past 10 years grew from $303 million to $432 million, which is $129 million increase in those 10 years. From last year, 2022 to 2023, that grew from $415 million to $432 million, which we are. That's the amount of, just like your property is assessed by values, that means that we have $432 million value of businesses, rooftops, and all that. And that increased by 4% from last year. But to increase from 2013 to 2023, to be able to grow 129 million or 43%, that's very strong. That lets you know that we are adding businesses, homes, apartments, because the total value for our municipality is $453 million. Proves that we are having a lot of growth. Okay? And our operation reserve, we have over a year of operating reserve money that if we don't get money coming in, we can still pay the bills for over a year. As I always say, most citizens die for 90 days, 60, 90 days. We have almost a year, a little bit over a year, that we can fund everything that we're doing, which is very, very strong. Okay? Any question? We would say that if you have a question, give your name and what district you're in, and we will allow those persons to answer, and we all help each other. So are there any questions?
Mayor, if you would you please elaborate just a little bit on our double A minus, all the money that we're spending, still maintain our double A.
Yeah, even in spending that money, and even with us doing the rating, we were able to, because of our rating, it's like this, and y'all heard me say this before, some of you all have. It's just like the credit score. The higher your credit score is, the cheaper interest rate you get. Because of our AA minus rating, we were able to refund. You know, we do bonds to help do projects in our city. We borrow money through bonds. But because of our AA rating, AA minus rating, we were able to refund about $10 million that saved the taxpayer money. It is critical that we maintain a proper rating, because if we don't, and we have to go out and do some things through the bond market, we will pay a higher interest rate. But because of our credit rating, the bonds that were put out there over years that were at a higher interest rate, because of our rating, we were able to rebond those and save money, which was over $10 million. Just like, for example, if your house, you got an interest rate of 6% and you're able to refinance it at 4% or 3%, the difference of what you're saving, the same thing as with the city. Listen, the city is a business. It is literally a business, because we want to make the money. We cannot do things wrong and properly run a city, because it's your money. And we take that very, very seriously. Now, we may disagree, but let me tell you something. We don't cut each other. After we talk about it and leave it alone, the next day we come back, we still love each other. And I'll say this. as a city, and we as a council have grown in righteousness because it is that that exalts the city, which means that we have to do it and lead with integrity, morals, and character. And we've had to make some tough decisions, but we have been consistent. And the next 100 years, we hope it's the same thing, but I always tell people this: elect people who have those attributes. If you don't, this gig won't work, and the people will suffer. And we take it very seriously. Okay? Any other questions? So, you got to stand, give your name, and what district you live in.
My name is Mrs. Daniels, and I'm here representing Community for Transformation and
Yeah.
St. Patrick. And first, we want to thank you for the grants that we have gotten in the past. I'm not sure what district we're in. We're off of Somerville Road, District 2.
District 1.
District
Yeah, I didn't, yeah. When you said
Well,
that.
one of the things we try to do is get people gainfully employed. So the positions that are open, do you have any written material about the job description or?
This is who you need to see right here.
I'll give you a business card.
Okay, great, okay.
HR director.
Thank you, we appreciate it.
Thank you. Any other questions? Now listen, don't just poll them to me. I got 4 other partners up there. 5.
6, Mayor.
No, we're not gonna put Shannon in the hot spot. Or Mike, no. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am, Miss
I
Dan.
have another question. The area.
What district you say you live in?
We were in District 1, I think.
No, you live in.
I live, and that's what I want to know. I live in Fort Mitchell. And does that
Oh.
fall under?
No, you need to talk to that guy right there.
Okay.
No, right.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I'm Belinda Strickland, and I'm actually from Fort Mitchell also. But my question I'm curious about is the company that's coming in, the window company. I think it was Sierra.
Sierra Pacific.
Do you have any kind of like a predicted or proposed timeline? Or when it's gonna break
What's that?
ground?
Have a what now?
Like a timeline as to when it's going to maybe break ground versus actually up and running?
Actually, when they first came in and invested, they said in June of this year. This was last year, but from my understanding, maybe August, correct? John?
In a perfect world, August would be an operation.
Yeah.
But, so they're getting equipment right now, the whole plant's under renovation. In a perfect world, they'd be up and running by August. I will say in the middle, end of the 4th quarter of 2024 will probably be an accurate time. They're hiring people now, but they've got to go through a rigorous training portion of that. So, but all of their hiring information is on Indeed. So anytime they're hiring, they'll be going through Indeed.
That's amazing.
Okay. I mean, it's a game changer for Phenix City. When you think about $60 million.
Amazing.
Yeah. Any other questions? Man, that's the first time we had. I did share with the, and I'm gonna be transparent with you, lady. I shared with the, when we got together to do this, and Pastor, forgive me for this. I told him, I said, I don't know how many people are going to come, but I said, if a lot of people come, it's just like when they go to a church and they hadn't been there in 5, 10 years and everybody show up to get rid of the preacher. When you see a whole lot of cars, and people, so evidently, I guess we, doing something right. Pastor, forgive me for that.
All right, I'm not gonna crowd in church.
Yes, sir.
Khalid Summer.
Speak up.
Khalid Summer.
Oh, yeah, you, Justice son.
Yeah.
Yeah. Justice Summer's son.
District 3.
Yes, sir.
So I have commercial property over there. I wanted to get with you all to see, it's almost 5 acres, so I want something for the kids over there. So who would I talk to?
First thing you go with, right? You go to our building department to get all the correct flow of things. But one thing that We do, that, because we were having problems with people saying this and saying this about the department head. One thing the city manager implement, that when you do get ready to do something, you will have everybody involved so you can hear it at one time. Because there are a flow of things that you have to do, that you have to go from one department to the next department. So what we try to do to mitigate some of the he said or she said and all of that, the team engineer, they would get together so the person can hear it one time.
What about an outside venue? Still talk to the business department for outside venues?
What's this outside venue?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
5 acres of outdoor space.
Yeah.
So that's still under the
Yes.
business department?
Yes.
Has to do with zoning.
And also the zone, yeah, because of the zone.
Zone 3, I think on zone.
Yeah.
C3.
Because, and that's the other thing people need to know. Before they do anything, they need to find out the zoning of that. That's why we got that KPS up there, comprehensive plan, so we can make sure it's done right, because we don't want someone to put, the cart before the horse. Because if you do, and it's out of compliance, I can tell you, based on our consistency, we're not gonna let you do it when it comes to us, because we have to be consistent. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Lisa? What name and district?
Misha Patrick, District 2. My question is about housing.
How about what house?
Housing,
Mm-hmm.
affordable housing and middle-class housing in Phenix City. And I'm praying that all this come to pass. That means that we're gonna have more people living in Phenix City.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a plan in place, or a possible plan in place for rezoning places for more affordable housing as well as middle-class housing?
Yeah, but first of all, you have to have investors who's gonna do that to try to get tax credits, where they can have affordable housing. But as far as the council sitting down and we're coming up with a plan to do that, no, we haven't just done that inclusively. But we hope that that does be the problem, and I will tell you this, as you see, there's some apartments being built in a lot of places. They may not be affordable houses, but the chances are of that continuing to happen as we grow will happen. And I would think that there would be some investors who understand how to use those tax credits to be able to build affordable houses. I've seen it work some in the past, here, a long time ago, I've seen it work at the Ramos, but we just do not get out in front of that. Okay? But that would be a good problem to have. But again, I believe that as we continue to grow, more people, as you say, we will need those. Somebody or some investor will see that and try to capitalize on what I believe. May not come as soon as we want to, but I do believe that because there's a lot of investors out there and they want to get a return on their investments. But, you know, again, I will say we want to make sure that we have agencies, I mean, true agencies doing it for the right reason, to be able to help people that are less fortunate. Yeah, go ahead.
And planning that we're doing now, we do have a piece that we're trying to do that in, Sean, you want to explain
So-
that?
So Mayor hasn't, so we're currently going through a zoning ordinance, as you saw the presentation. So Mayor hasn't quite gotten to your level yet, but through the direction of the city manager, we've been discussing, obviously, affordable housing is national, and it's a national epidemic. It's an issue that every community is facing. We're no different than that. So we're in the process of going through some zoning changes potentially that will address some of that, give opportunities to some neighborhoods to be able to allow additional types of housing, maybe some denser housing, some accessory dwelling units, and those types of things that will help maybe address some of those issues. So as far as a comprehensive plan in that, we don't have that yet, but we're in the process of thinking through that. We're hoping to be able to apply for some grant funds in the upcoming year that will help us also address some of those issues. So it is something that we haven't got quite yet at the city council level, but it's something that as a department level we can discuss pretty intensively.
But then, Carol also expanded on the 10 acre use plan for how many different developers you have to have willing to go along with that.
So, yeah, as a part of those grant funds, it was substantial grant dollars. You needed to have commitments from private, like the mayor mentioned, so we're not in the housing development world, but developers are. So we need to find those partners that will help us be able to meet those goals and be able to develop some of these affordable housing units. So while we adjust our zoning to be more conducive for that, we've still got to have the developers that are willing to also spend those dollars to help.
Put the capital
some
in
of
it.
that, right? So, and some of it may be to the homeowners that live in some areas that are distressed, right? And their ability to be able to, hopefully some of those dollars can go to fund renovations to their homes. Or there's a lot of homes that have accessory dwelling units already there, but it's not per our zoning ordinance currently allowed. And so we're adjusting some of those things in this next zoning ordinance. But we'll definitely need some developers to help us to reach those goals. If that helps, that answers your question.
Mayor, Ed,
Oh,
we may have, also, we did get involved in one, Liberty Hill.
Yeah,
where
we
gave up
did.
The hospital property to work with the housing authority.
thank you,
and all.
Steve, yeah.
And so the city was foremost forward in that one, but we worked with Hidden
Housing,
Terrace
yeah.
and all of them. We worked
Housing
with others.
Authority.
When they bring them to us, we get proactive at that time, but with the Liberty Hill, we actually got proactive first and took that to them, because it was better for them to run with the ball in that particular thing that was done than it was gonna be for us. So, you know, if it's something we can do as a city, we do. But as the mayor says, we gotta make sure, that, you know, the community's on board with it. And then you gotta make sure, you know, where it's being done and it's done correctly, because you gotta be the same throughout the city. You have to be equally involved all the way through the city. And that's one thing that our council's always been proud of, and the mayor and the city manager and all has always been, is when we do something in any district, we try to equal it in all the districts.
And we've done that.
Because it's everybody's money that's being shared and spent. So it's done for that reason.
And we can hang our hats on that.
Right.
But thank you, Steve, but you know, we gave the property to them to do those houses up there. So, you know, when it's the right opportunity at the right time, but as you heard me say, and as Sean said and Councilman Bailey, we don't just get out in front as far as putting the capital in. Yes, sir.
So,
Name and district.
Mayor Long, District 3. I have to say, over the years, I was allowed credit about certain things I come to the South. I can't say that anymore, because I see it. And I'm proud of y'all, how y'all got the city going to South Phenix City. We started, it was seeing a lot of stuff going every end but the South Side. I'm glad I'm glad to live to see that South Phenix City is growing just like the other, even though we're way behind now.
Yeah.
But we are growing. We see all the traffic that coming through South Phenix City now. We got these places they can stop in Florida, stop here, they ain't got to go 285 days. Let South Phenix City get some of this money. Because too much coming through South Phenix City. I am proud of y'all, what y'all did. I'm credit on a lot of stuff, because I want to do something. I'm going to give you credit for credit to do. You're doing it now, and I like it, and I still see it. Just steady growing and growing. I like it. I like it. In the citizens of South Phenix City, we love it because we've been thirsty for this. You know, I'm glad y'all, you know, like, come on with us to help us out on this. But we're going to be complaining so much. And we complain a lot. I'm going to be honest, I'm number one. I was number one by complaining. But now when I see the growth, I criticize you, I give you credit due to. So y'all did an excellent job on doing it for the whole city. I like that.
Thank you. One thing that this council and the leadership teams that we can hang up, every district, and you can check it, there's things going on. And, you know, you said it, people have noticed that it hadn't always been that way. But as I said, this council, we're gonna do things right. And then if it's something that we may think that may be perceived wrong, we address it and tell the reason why something is going here instead of there. And you know that.
Let me say one more thing. The bridge going down to South Phenix City. See all this stuff right here, you may not believe it. I was looking for this stuff years ago. It may not come when you want it, but it's always on time.
Well, that's what I said about the vision
It
plan.
comes on time.
But were you in here when we told you how much it cost?
Nah.
$2.3 million. This building, and I'm proud to say this building and our fire training paid for it, about $10 million. Cash. The amount of money we put in grants, if we weren't doing good financially, our balance sheet is strong and our income and expense statement is not strong. So from a financial standpoint, we got a lot, this city has a lot to be thankful of. And you can see it. Whoever doesn't want to see it is not going to see it. But every district.
Mayor, as we're going through this process in the preliminary, we have a lot of folks that have not been down the drive or the Phenix City and Bristol Park. We have a lot of companies that have already home up down there, a lot of jobs down there. And we also paid half of that down the drive going through the old seal road on the other end.
And that was about $1 million, yes, sir. Mr. Hunt, it's about $1 million to pave that road.
That's in my district.
Yeah. Wag the tail, Mr. Day. Wag the tail. End up, yes, ma'am. Name and district. I know you, but everybody else don't know you.
Mr. Day,
Okay.
can you, if you can't, but do you know proposed completion date for that bridge on Zero? Because I know they started.
All dogs know that. He asks every time, hey, you don't know that? No, listen, he asks every meeting. So I know you know that.
Okay, Mayor, what I like to do is test.
No, that ain't where we at. Ain't,
Yes, hopefully
Same.
weather doing great at the end of March, 1st of April. That bridge should come back into service.
and that's again, now, we have to allow for a lot of things.
Messed up now. Put trucks out there, that's it. It's over now. It's over.
And we are excited about that.
So, listen.
Walkway across that bridge.
So, Mr. Day, you don't have to ask that question anymore to me. That ain't gonna happen, is it? Don't hold your breath. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question on 431. I know we have one traffic light that's down there where Red Rose in that area, but that little area right there, from, was it Rainbow?
5th Street.
That's very dangerous. Is there?
Let me,
Owned by the state.
let me share you this. In order, Renfro's would not have come if we did not get that light there. The state, there's a certain distance that they want lights to be, for the flow of traffic. And I'm gonna get back to that. As you know, they took some off the 280 bypass, some lights. They want it, and I think the distance, and Mr. Hunter correct, I think is it 3 miles? 3,000 feet? And 3,000 feet, right? Not 3 miles. So we were able to get that for the future growth of 431 when Renfro's came. That light is going to have to, that's the state. The state makes that decision. Unfortunately, so many things have to happen before they even want to adhere to doing it. But I don't know whether that would be done anytime soon, but that's not on the city.
But Mayor, the city has tried to.
Yep.
And the county has tried.
Yeah.
I think both the city and the county have tried to talk to the state about getting out and getting that done. So the city and the county have done what they can to try to make that happen.
Let me say this, that in my district, I have received numerous complaints about that intersection, and I can agree with you, it is dangerous, especially early in the morning when kids are going to school and when school are out. You got to come all the way over to your left to get over like you're going to get a car something. And I told these individuals that called me, it's a state highway, on which we could suggest. Now, we realize that what the rules say about the lights, but here's what we can do, we as citizens can do, we can contact our state representative, that's why they're going to make a change.
But, Steve Court, their commitment, combination of the apartments,
There was
also with retail drive, the whole planning system, that was a part of that with the state, was the reason we was able to get that particular light there, because of the plans across the street, the whole plan that was laid out. But we had, just like the mayor is talking about, having private developers that want to be here, we had a commitment of nearly $500,000 from Steve Court. We gotta give him credit.
Yeah,
You know,
with those apartments down there. But we had to go to Montgomery to sit down with the head of the Alabama Department of Transportation to be able to get that light that's there now. The one that's where Renfro's in those apartments, because they were apprehensive of doing it because of the distance. Now, the light that goes down to 165, the county and the city got involved with that, but it had to be so many fatalities and things to happen. But the county and the city did do that light. So that's certain things, certain roads we can't touch. It's the Alabama Department of Transportation. State. Yeah. But I know exactly where you're talking about.
but we are trying.
We're trying. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
First of all, can we get a copy of this presentation?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
here
You
that
can.
we have this?
You can get a copy. It's on the website. All of that. Yeah. And like I said, the best policy that we know of is transparency. This council, we live on that. Transparency. Yeah. You can get a copy, and if anyone else wants a copy, you can see our city clerk right here, Shannon Davis, because it's all in there.
And I do appreciate it very much. And to make a single correction, it's funny, we have our horse farm down in Fort Mitchell, but we actually own multiple pieces of residential and commercial property right here in Phenix City.
Well,
in multiple areas, both districts. So that's why I'm so concerned, and I'm actually very excited to be here, because what I learned today is just enlightening, and it's a very positive, motivating feeling, so.
Well, we are transparent.
Yeah, Mayor, this other number is also on the website as well.
Yeah, the address and all that. State of city, but you'll be able to see it. It's on the website, and you can go out there and look at it. And if anyone else would like to get a copy of it, just see, Shannon, raise your hand. Might need to have you stand up. We might need to get a stool for you. You so short. Any other questions? Council, anything before I thank them
I
for
was
being?
gonna say, the new building we just got back behind us back here that we're trying to do for HR.
Oh, yeah, we purchased a building right over here. What street is that? 7th Avenue, what used to be, what they used to be, the phone company.
No, they have,
Oh, well,
yeah. Well, we got 7th Avenue right by.
yeah, the one on, there used to be the attorney office. We purchased that building. We purchased the building over here that used to be the phone company. So again, you have to have some foresight looking out, and they've been paid for cash too. So.
Mayor, I would like to
Thank
say
you.
this. The reason I see it is in such good shape is because we have a good team that works together. And I'm proud of all of us sitting up here and proud to be part of that. But the people that I'm talking about are the ones sitting here and here. They're the ones that are the department heads. They get in there, do the work, and also what a lot of people don't realize, the numbers that we're down on work is real numbers. And nobody sitting up here, any of the department heads like to make an excuse, but I'm not being to get to something that's very important. Because the most important person that's important is you. You calling for a problem that is your problem, not your neighbor's problem. You want an answer to it, you deserve an answer. So a lot of those people right there, and the people that work for them, some of them are doing the job of 2 and 3 and 4 people. I'm not gonna single anybody out for more, but the engineering department right there, the young lady sitting on the end right here, she is in charge of about 6 or 7 different departments at the same time. If you have a problem with limb debris, you have a problem with engineering, just everything falls almost in her lap every day. and she's having to juggle people from the dump down there to take them off on the tractor and put them on a truck. Take somebody off on the truck and put them over here to deliver a backhoe somewhere. But the whole
Workforce is
city,
down.
Parks and Rec, utilities, building department, all of them are doing that. And that's what's so impressive about the people of this city. We have people that care about the city, that work for the city. A lot of people just work for a job. They really don't care about where they work for, they don't care about people around. But thank goodness that we're blessed that everybody that I'm familiar with at the city, that I know personally after all these years of being here, they really do love their job. They get the most they can out of the people, and some of them even get out there and do the same job that they're short of help of having them done. So they don't just dictate it to be done, they'll get out there and do it too. That's impressive about people, and that's people that I hope, as the mayor says, in the future, that we have people that will get up and do the same thing. It looks like some generations are gonna skip some of this because of the lack of the workforce and the work ethics. All of a sudden, people have gotten where they don't want to work. I don't understand how you can figure you don't have to, but I guess you can. There's a lot of it don't. But thank goodness that we have people in our city that are willing to work, and we're still hiring people every day, and there's people still coming to us. But these people here make this job up here really simple. All we do is back them up on what they do, and they're the best that any city's got anywhere, and I'll stack all of them up against any city anywhere. I don't care what size the city is. I'll stack every one of them up against it.
And one of the things that I like to do with the risk premium, John, if I'd like to elaborate on just a little bit, I remember I received some call about land that we not picked up. And at that time, I was grab all, I think we call it, they picked the land up, it was out of order. And not only that, I received an answer from my search department, and you guess what? We had 2 CDL drivers quit at the same time in 1 week. That's really hurt when you got 2 CDL drivers quit at one time, same week.
So Angel, how many have we, I know we were down, we're only down to 2 CDL.
Yes, sir.
Have we gotten any?
We're probably down just 2 now.
We're down 2, so we have made some progress.
Yes, sir.
See, you can't put anybody in certain equipment, that you have to have certain licensing. I mean, we were struggling to get people. Yeah. So, but we are, so we, well, that's
Well, like you say, ebbs and
yeah.
flows.
Yeah. Okay.
Mayor, let me say one thing. First of all, let me just say Happy New Year. 2024 has gotten off to a great start, and the mayor has always set a precedent of giving the citizen the overall scope of the city, and he continues to do a great job at that. And we will continue to recognize the need for areas of improvement, the progress on capital projects, because the city itself is a project, and we just have entities within the city as to how those projects will come to fruition. And one of the things that I'm so pleased about is how well we kind of analyze these projects and then come to a consensus on what is needed. I'd rather have good drinking water, safe drinking water, than to have that pothole fixed on my road. I mean, that's just me personally. And so we have to look at that in a broader scope when we talk about how the money is being spent. And as you can see, the city finances is in a very, very positive state. We have surplus. Whereas at one point, from my understanding from the city, we didn't have that. But over the years that since I've been serving within the 2nd District and working with, Councilman Day, Councilman Bailey, Dr. Griff Gordy, and the mayor, we've seen our numbers turn around. And that is so pleasing to me. And I'm happy to report to the citizens in which I represent in District 2. You know, the 14th Street streetscape, what it will look like within the next few years is just phenomenal. And if it was up to me, I'd name that Main Street. Because I believe it is the main artery that connects Phenix City along with the bridge into Columbus, Georgia. And so, with that being said, we continue to, you know, look for ways to make the city money grow for us. And one thing we can't grow is land, so we have to revitalize and redevelop some of the commercials that we have, retail that we have right here in Phenix City. And the city manager and their team, they continue to do a great job of leveraging off of what we already have and working with those private investors to come right here in Phenix City. We will continue to be Phenix City strong. And that is my main, initiative for Phenix City, is to make sure we can continue to be Phenix City strong. We're always going to be Phenix City. We're always going to be thankful, and we are, to live right here in Phenix City. And above all, we're going to be grateful for the great city that we live in. It is a privilege to work with these people on this council and work within the city employees, because they really do a great, outstanding job on making sure that we can, all those issues that we address, and sometimes we get 10, 12, 20 calls sometime on one issue. And so I'll call, you know, Councilman Bain, have you heard, you know, you had a constituent that talked about this, or Councilman Day would, you know, reference to me, you know, he'd go to church and, you know, would speak with someone about an issue. And so that's how we collaborate and get issues resolved. And that's the main thing that this council is about, is to resolve issues and to make it better for every citizen right here in Phenix City. And I'm proud to say I'm just privileged to be a part of it.
One of the things, Mayor, as we all know, I am the oldest councilman on the 40th year. And as you know, I think it's going on about 10 and a half years we've been here. As I sit here and think about during the time I came aboard, I remember the bridge back here, the school bus, fire truck could not cross this bridge back here. The school bus had to go all the way around and come out over there in this area here. That's one of the things that the city have done some tremendous change. And during that time there, as citizens, we remember when the school bus had to do all of that, they put that bridge there, and that bridge up saved the school bus time and gas. And it was safe for our fire truck and school buses to cross this bridge back here. We was involved in that. That team out there was involved in it as well, in those two bridges right there. It's one of the things that is tremendous progress.
Okay. Well, thank you all for coming out. Thank this council. Yes, sir.
Okay. It's my last time. But I had to thank the police department of Phenix City, Alabama. I think we got one of the best in Phenix City. All the big events we have, they handle it. You call on, they there. They handle with respect and all that. They make sure everything go right. So I gotta give our police department, let's give them credit what they do. They do a wonderful job. I called the chief now, they never said no. They be there on the job, on the spot. So I wanna thank y'all so much for what y'all do for us. Cause we really appreciate what you do to protect it. You feel more comfortable when they're there.
Yeah.
We're more comfortable when they're there. So we appreciate you so very much. They never say no. They be there. Thank you so much, Chief. Thank y'all.
Thank you all so much. Thank you all, council. Yes, sir.
People that wasn't here when it began, today is the mayor's birthday. You got to walk the window.
Our clerk wants to say something.
I just wanted to let everybody know that all the information that you saw tonight will be on www.phenixcity.al.us. We have a transparency portal out, and the information from tonight will be out tomorrow. So, and if you have any questions, you can call the city clerk's office, And that number is 334-448-2727.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you all. Thank you, council, city hall, the department head. Thank you all for coming. We're going to keep expecting great expectations, but let me say this. We're going to pray for a harvest, but we're going to keep on holding. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you all, and you all have a safe night. Good night. Thank you all.